Hello, everyone, and welcome to my show. My name is Sean, and today we're going to talk about interesting recent car stories in the automotive world. First, I'd like to talk about Scout and their return. As many of you may know, Volkswagen decided to revive the Scout name as an EV only brand, and they've revealed two models with retro styling, and they've been talking about their off road capabilities for these expected models that we're hoping to see in production around 2027. The two models that have been revealed so far are the Traveler, which is their SUV, and the Terra, their pickup. Pricing hasn't been confirmed yet, but their plan is to target pricing near the $60,000 range. I would expect that pricing to go up by the time production and vehicle delivery and orders come into play, but we'll have to wait and see. But so far, here's what we do know. Both of the models will feature a body-on-frame architecture, solid rear axles, mechanical locking diffs, and this is going to be interesting too. They're going to actually have optional gas generators as a range extender, and this will help them fall into that extended range electric vehicle category, which is kind of new and emerging. And right now, they're targeting, without the gas generator as a range extender, 350 miles of range, and then with the range extender, 500 plus miles. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, how these models are received when they actually go into production and make sale, and what other models could compete against them during that time frame. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on the Scout brand and the revival efforts. Next up, this was pretty interesting to see. The CEO of Ford, Jim Farley, was on a show praising the Xiaomi SU7, a Chinese vehicle, and it has attracted some controversy because he was saying how much he loved the car and how impressive it was, and he was literally quoted by saying he does not want to stop driving it, which is something you don't expect to hear from the CEO of a major American car company. One thing that we should be aware of: the CEOs and the major leaders of every car company, they do drive the competition, so we shouldn't be thinking otherwise. They're trying to learn, they're trying to benchmark and see where the other companies excel, or where their models exceed the competition. But right now, there's been a lot of controversy just with Chinese EV manufacturers and whether or not they'll be able to sell their vehicles into the US market. And obviously, there has been talk of tariffs and potential backdoor efforts that the Chinese automakers may try and pull in order to get into this market. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll also have to see how other automotive makers, not just from the US, but from Japan, Korea, and Europe, respond, and how they will catch up to the EV tech that the Chinese have. Because by the talks of Jim Farley, it sounds like the Chinese automakers are light years ahead in terms of their technology. Next up here, Subaru has released a new special series of the BRZ. It's going to be a limited run 500 unit special of the Subaru BRZ called the Series Purple. Now, they've released special editions in the past, but this one's going to be pretty interesting because it's going to be finished in a Galaxy Purple Pearl. And the starting price, I will say, is a bit steep for this car. For a paint job package, it's basically going to be $35,000, plus dollars. And I think that's a bit steep just for a color. That's just my opinion, because there's no performance increase. It's just like a normal BRZ. It will have the same 2.4 liter flat 4 engine with about 228 horsepower, and it will come only with a 6-speed manual transmission. Here it does come with a short throw shifter, but from a cost standpoint, you're better off buying a base BRZ and choosing a different color, and then getting the short throw shifter separately, because I believe a base BRZ starts at about $31,000, give or take. So for a color on a Subaru, I don't think the package is worth it, but it's still a cool car, and I have a soft spot for the BRZ and the 86. And recently, Ferrari actually unveiled their new flagship model, the F80. Now, a lot of people have not been impressed with it from a powertrain standpoint, because it is only featuring a 3 liter twin turbo V6. It's going to have incredible numbers though, because it's going to have 1,184 horsepower, 3 electric motors, 2 in the front, 1 in the rear, and 0 to 60 times, around, 2 to 2.2 seconds. But a lot of people were hoping for a bigger engine, such as, a V12 or at least a V8. But right now Ferrari is trying to focus on technology, and they're trying to meet the, complicated emissions in, Europe and other, countries around the world. So they had to stuff in this 3-liter V6 to comply with that. And it is sad, because when you're looking at a vehicle that costs, over $3 million, you want something a little more special than the V6. And based off the videos I've seen on YouTube, it doesn't sound great. And one of the videos I saw, where it had the F80, going on one of the straights, you could hear more tire noise than the engine itself, which to me doesn't really, evoke excitement. So we'll have to see. I'll be interested to see, what other reviews and other videos show. But right now, it will be competing directly against the McLaren W1. So it'll be interesting to see how those two models duke it out. And then Porsche will have a true flagship of their own coming out soon, hopefully. So it'll be interesting to see what that vehicle has. The rumors have suggested that it will be a full EV, but we'll see. So finally here, also on the note of Porsche, we have this really cool special edition model with the Carrera T. Now, the Carrera T, it's manual only, it's for the purist, and this is interesting because with this new 992.2 generation, the 911 Carrera T, it's the only one that's been equipped with a manual transmission, so it's awesome to see. And relative to the other Porsches, it's more affordable, where it will start at around $136,000 for the coupe model, and $149,000 plus for the cabriolet. Now, this won't be the fastest 911. This won't be the most exciting for many in terms of the spec sheets, but from a driver engagement standpoint, from a purist standpoint, this is one of the models I'm most excited about, and I'm very happy to see that Porsche has put in, a manual gearbox and, made it relatively affordable for buyers. And I say relative because I know $136,000 is still a very expensive vehicle. So we'll have to see if Porsche will put, more manual gearboxes and other, Carrera 911 trims along the line in the coming years. And we'll have to see if other, manufacturers offer purist-oriented vehicles like the Carrera. And that's it for today. These are all the interesting stories that I've, been reading about and thinking about in the last week or so. My name is Sean, and I'll hope to make a video soon for y'all.